Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your July 2018 mid-month general readings. Excuse me. Thank you for joining us here today and welcome any newcomers, and thank you for all your support, feedback, and comments, and your likes and shares and subscribes. And a thank you to all of my clients out there, regular and new, for keeping me so busy with personal readings. It's an honor and a pleasure to read for all of you. Thank you so much. If any of you are interested in any personal one-on-one reading with me, you can get more info and my contact details by going to my YouTube channel's homepage and clicking on the little About button, or you can click on the description bar of all the videos I post. I do readings full-time, 5 to 6 days a week. It is what I do exclusively, so turnaround time is pretty fast, and I can usually get back to you within the same day or the first 24 hours of your initial contact. I do a wide variety of readings in all areas of life, including 6 and 12-month overviews as look-aheads and channeled messages. So if you're interested, send me an email at maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I'd be happy to work with you. You can also find me on the smartphone app, iPhone or iPad app Instantgo under Irish Gypsy for fast answers to those quick questions, and that link is also provided. So this reading is for the air sign of Gemini, or twins, for the last half of July 2018, the remainder of July. If you know your rising and moon sign, watch those as well for additional clarification. General readings, of course, there's a lot of you watching, so the details and specifics and intensity can vary, although the energy and advice fundamentally remains the same. All right, our twin, Gemini, for the remainder of July. All right, Gemini, we begin with the Queen of Swords, followed by the Three of Swords. Justice, followed by the Six of Pentacles. From the bottom of the deck, your overall energy and guidance is the Chariot. Gemini. Well, I'm not laughing at you, Gemini. Well, sort of, but not in a mean way. Gemini, I feel like for a lot of you, you are just done with something. You are over something and you are moving on, like really moving on. I feel like you may have had some, maybe some heartbreak or emotional pain or significant disappointment. It may have been in relationship or in job, work, career, or financial structure of your life, because I'm getting a kind of a mix of both, but there's some kind of personal element in there. And I feel like you're just, you know, you're just kind of over it and moving on quite powerfully. We begin with the Queen of Swords, followed by the Three of Swords. So Swords is air energy, which is your element, air. Aquarius, Gemini, Libra energy, Sun, Moon, or Rising. The Queen of Swords can represent an Aquarius, Gemini, Libra female or male. Sun, Moon, or Rising. I feel like for a lot of you this represents you. I have heard the Queen of Swords, well, first of all, Swords is air energy, and that's the element which governs the suit. And in the tarot, this is the energy of the mind, what we think, our belief systems, our thoughts, our what we think and how we think about things, because that directly affects our words and our ideas and how we communicate and relate with people and the world outside of ourselves. It's mental, cerebral, intellectual energy. It's all about what goes on up in here: truth, enlightenment, illumination, learning, higher education. Mental energy. So kings and queens represent individuals who have reached the mastery of their suit. They've matured and grown and evolved beyond the page energy, the knight energy, and so they manifest the truest form of the character traits inherent to their suit. The Queen of Swords I have heard referred to as, you know, the single divorced woman. It doesn't mean you're single. It doesn't mean you're divorced. I don't like to attach those kind of, you know, strictures on characters or cards. But the Queen of Swords does have a fair amount of road behind her. She has seen a lot. She's been through a lot. She's still a queen. She still has that nurturing edge, but she doesn't suffer fools very well. She's been there, done that, has the t-shirts hanging in our closet. She tends to be pretty direct and to the point. She appreciates and respects truth and honesty, even if it's difficult to take, because that's she can sometimes even sacrifice her own emotions on the altar of reality and truth, because that's truly important to her. Clear, insightful, very intelligent, if not well educated. She's seen a lot. She has a lot of road behind her, which makes her more compassionate in some ways and less compassionate in others, because again, she doesn't suffer fools wisely, and she doesn't have a lot of patience for BS. She's been there and done that. And this is also this is very much a mental energy, direct, to the point, insightful. What's the reality? What's the truth energy? So I feel like for a lot of you, this is you manifesting this energy, this air energy that is your element. Others of you, it could also be, or in addition, be another, air sign individual in your life: Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Now, what clarifies her is the Three of Swords. This is a card that can show up for heartbreak, heartache, sometimes breakups in relationships or situations, emotional pain, or a significant sense of disappointment. In relationships, sometimes it can represent a sense of betrayal or infidelity, because there's three swords piercing this heart. It doesn't necessarily mean that to be the case. So you're moving through some emotional pain. I feel like for a lot of you, I actually feel like for like 99.9% of you, this is past emotional pain, but recent past. Could be very recent, because it's still kind of, the energy is still pretty fresh. Now, something that you've been through which has caused you emotional pain. There could be heartbreak, a breakup involved, or some kind of hurt or betrayal that you're feeling in the relationship area of your life. And relationship can be in romantic, or it can be close friendship or family. This could also be in job, work, and career. This could be, feeling that same way at work. Maybe you were passed up for a promotion, or were very disappointed in something, or, you could have been lost a job or been demoted or passed over, or something of that sort as well. It can just represent being really, significantly disappointed and hurt. But I feel like, again, this is in the past, even though it doesn't feel really old, like recent past. But you are manifesting the sense of who you are in that. And you're kind of like equal give, equal receiving. I'm not going to give more than I'm given. That's kind of the general energy for the remainder of July, because next to that we have Justice, clarified by the Six of Pentacles. These are both cards about equality, equal giving and receiving, which is what the Six of Pentacles is. Justice is the, basically tit for tat card. What you put into something is going to be reflected in the outcome, consequences, and the result of something. That's why justice is blind, as the saying goes, because it's not supposed to be based on, emotions. This is based on facts, on actions, decisions, choices, not intentions or desires or wishes or wants, but on actually what happened. Like in a court trial, it's not based on what people intended or wanted. It's based on what they actually did, their choices and actions and decisions that they made. So justice represents that what you put into something, or what you've put into something, is representative in what comes out. Now, in the upright position, the implication is that things will work out in your favor, particularly any contracts or negotiations over this period of time. But it represents that whatever the outcome is, it's going to be karmically fair, because it's going to be based on what was actually put into a situation. It's evenness, it's equality, it's karmically fair and just. Some of you, this might be a legal situation that you've been involved with as well. And if that's the case, I feel like, whether you're on either side, it works out in your favor successfully. Now, justice is clarified by the Six of Pentacles. So Pentacles is earth energy. That's the element which governs Pentacles. And in the tarot, the energy of Pentacles is earthly energy, and it usually manifests in the earthly, tangible, concrete areas of our life. Things that are tangible, or that we can see and touch and feel, like often money, finances, property, resources, assets, job, etc. The Six of Pentacles can represent a healthy relationship with money. It can represent equal giving and receiving. It can represent that you might be on the giving end of something or on the receiving end of something. For some of you, it might be receiving your just rewards, receiving justice. However, with the cards that are in the upright, and the Chariot in the upright overall, which is a very powerful major arcana card of success, receiving justice for you would be in your favor, being vindicated as well. For those of you who are going through a specific situation, like a legal situation or a situation at work or something of that kind, it looks like it's beneficial to everybody involved. It's beneficial to you particularly, and it is karmically fair and just. For others of you in relationships and in a more emotional sense, Justice and the Six of Pentacles, I feel like because of whatever the source of this emotional pain, significant disappointment has been, I feel like you are kind of manifesting maybe the traditional, more of the classic energy of the Queen of Swords, or classical defined energy of the Queen of Swords. It's like equal giving, equal receiving. I am not, at least at this time, in a position where I want to, it has to be fair. Everything has to be fair. It has to be equal. I'm not going to give more than I'm given. I'm not going to stick my neck out, you know, which is understandable. It looks basically like mind over heart for this time period, the remainder of July. And when I say that, let me clarify that I don't mean mind against heart. I don't mean thoughts against emotions. We're holistic creatures. We need to be holistically connected, or we're continuously in internal conflict. Because the danger here when we go through emotional pain and disappointment and kind of, you know, we're trying to think very intellectually or cerebrally, is the danger or the temptation is in, you know, getting cynical, getting jaded, getting kind of hard. And it's understandable to go through a time period of that sometimes when we feel pain or disappointment, particularly by a specific individual or situation. Don't allow yourself to kind of get stuck in that, because you could get very cold and closed down and guarded, which does keep you protected in a bubble, but it also doesn't allow anything else to come in like true connection and joy. So be careful about that. So it looks like mind over heart. You're thinking very rationally. You know, you're not really willing, because of some maybe recent experiences, you're not really willing to give more than you receive, or, you know, things have to be kind of fair and balanced out, and you're just kind of in that mode. Contract negotiations, legal situations looks like they're karmically just and fair, and the implications that it's working out in your favor. Your overall energy and guidance is the Chariot, which is a major arcana card, and I believe that a major arcana card that signifies significant success, like the most powerful success card in the deck. It represents success that comes from sheer determination, perseverance, and will, which is what it takes to get this Chariot where she wants it to go. Pulling together all the resources to make things work in unison and harmony to propel something forward. It's being ambitious. It's being driven. It's really moving forward in a powerful way. Winning because you refuse to give up, basically. Very powerful, very strong card. A great accompaniment to the Queen of Swords. She is the perfect person to drive the Chariot. Again, it looks like a good time period. I mean, other than, you know, having gone through whatever this pain or hurt or disappointment is. My cautionary advice, because I'm getting this thread of kind of cautionary advice through this, make sure that, I mean, sometimes the Chariot can ask you to question your drive and ambition. Maybe you're pushing forward too forcefully because you've been hurt, or you're just kind of closing down all the emotions, and you're just thinking, you know, in pure intellectual reasoning, and kind of, you know, getting kind of cold and shut down because of pain. And again, it's understandable to go through some of that. Just don't get stuck in it, and don't allow yourself, because you've been hurt by someone or a situation, to perpetuate that by kind of, you know, steamrolling over everything in your way. There's kind of a balancing act to be found here. So just be cautious of that, Gemini. So Gemini, that pretty much wraps up your July 2018 general reading. It looks like a couple of weeks of success at the very least. I hope that you enjoyed it or found it helpful, maybe got a little guidance from it. Again, if any of you are interested in a more personal one-on-one reading, please feel free to contact me directly at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I would be most happy to work with you and set up a reading, live or recorded, as quickly as possible. You can also find me on the smartphone app Instantgo under Irish Gypsy. That link is also also provided by clicking on the little About button or the description bar of the videos I post. And you can also find me through my email address on PayPal for those of you who care to donate any amount of money in support of this channel, which enables me to buy cards and equipment and upgrade and things like that. And thank you very much for those of you who have donated so generously, everything from $1 all the way up. So thank you so much for that. I will see you all again in a couple of weeks, Gemini, for the August 2018 general readings. And until then, as always, I wish you joy, peace, blessings, and a happy life. Take care. Bye-bye.